There comes a time when a person stops asking whether they are successful and begins asking whether they are truly fulfilled. Your soulmate may have quietly reached that point. Nothing dramatic forced this realization upon them. There was no crisis, no sudden loss, no unexpected announcement that turned their world upside down. Instead, the change began through a series of ordinary days that all felt strangely the same. Morning arrived. Responsibilities were completed. Conversations came and went. Evenings passed quietly. Then another day began exactly like the one before it. At first, they accepted this rhythm without question. After all, this was the life they had worked so hard to create. It was organized, predictable, responsible. From the outside, everything appeared stable. Yet somewhere beneath that stability, their heart began asking a question they had never truly considered. If my life looks the way I always planned, why do I still feel like something is missing? That question stayed with them, not because it demanded an immediate answer, but because it refused to disappear. For years, they believed fulfillment would naturally arrive after reaching the next milestone. Another achievement, another goal, another accomplishment. Each success brought satisfaction for a while. But before long, that feeling quietly faded, leaving behind the same silent emptiness. Now they are beginning to understand why. Achievements can fill a calendar. They cannot always fill the heart. That realization has encouraged them to slow down and observe themselves with greater honesty. They have started noticing the moments when they feel most alive. Interestingly, those moments are rarely connected to recognition or success. Instead, they happen during simple experiences. A meaningful conversation that asks nothing in return. A peaceful walk where they finally notice the beauty surrounding them. A genuine smile exchanged without expectation. An evening spent feeling completely present instead of constantly planning tomorrow. These moments have shown them something important. Joy is often found where pressure is absent. Peace is often discovered where authenticity is allowed to exist. Your soulmate is beginning to recognize that they have spent years becoming the person they believed everyone expected them to be. Reliable, capable, responsible, strong. Those qualities are valuable. Yet somewhere along the way, they forgot to ask one essential question. Who am I when I no longer feel the need to meet every expectation? That thought has become the beginning of a quiet transformation. They are not rejecting the life they built. They are simply learning that a meaningful life requires more than achievement alone. It also requires honesty, balance, presence, and the courage to make choices that reflect the truth of the heart rather than the pressure of the world. As they continue reflecting, another realization gently appears. Perhaps they have not been searching for a different destination. Perhaps they have been searching for a different way of living. A life where gratitude matters more than comparison, where connection matters more than appearance, where inner peace becomes just as important as outer success. This understanding has begun changing the way they move through each day. They rush less, they listen more, they appreciate ordinary moments that once passed unnoticed. Most importantly, they are beginning to trust that fulfillment is not something waiting for them somewhere in the future. It is something created by the choices they make today. And perhaps that quiet realization is leading them toward the most honest chapter of their life so far. As this quiet transformation continues, your soulmate may begin realizing that fulfillment is not something that suddenly appears one day. It is something that is slowly created through the decisions we make, the values we protect, and the way we choose to experience each ordinary moment. This understanding has changed the questions they ask themselves. Instead of wondering whether they are doing enough, they now wonder whether they are living in a way that feels true. That difference is much greater than it first appears. For years they measured their life by accomplishments, how much they had achieved, how many responsibilities they had fulfilled, how productive each day had been. Now they are beginning to measure life differently. Did they speak honestly? Did they show kindness? Did they make time for the people who truly matter? Did they allow themselves to experience gratitude before rushing toward the next goal? These questions are quietly reshaping their priorities. The future still matters. Their dreams still matter, but they no longer want to reach success by losing themselves along the way. They have started noticing how often they ignored their own needs while trying to meet the expectations of others. How many times they said yes when their heart wanted to say no. How often they carried responsibilities that were never truly theirs. Not because anyone forced them, but because they believed their worth depended on always being dependable. Now they understand something different. Being kind does not mean abandoning yourself. Being generous does not mean carrying every burden alone. Real compassion includes offering the same understanding to yourself that you freely offer to others. This lesson has brought unexpected peace. For the first time in a long while, they feel less pressure to prove themselves. They no longer believe they must earn the right to rest. They no longer feel guilty for choosing balance instead of exhaustion. Instead, they are learning that caring for their own well-being allows them to show up more fully for everyone else. Another quiet realization has also appeared. They have begun appreciating the present instead of constantly postponing happiness until some future achievement arrives. A peaceful morning now feels meaningful. A sincere conversation becomes something to treasure. Even an ordinary afternoon can hold unexpected beauty when it is experienced with full attention. These moments remind them that life is not waiting to begin. It has been unfolding all along. Perhaps this is why their heart feels lighter than it has in years. Not because every challenge has disappeared, but because they are no longer carrying unnecessary pressure. They trust themselves more. They trust life more. And they understand that not every unanswered question requires an immediate answer. Some chapters reveal their purpose only after enough time has passed. That awareness has given them patience. Patience with the journey. Patience with their own growth. Patience with the timing of life itself. They no longer compare their path with anyone else's. They understand that every soul learns different lessons at different moments. There is no race. There is only growth. And growth cannot be rushed. Perhaps this has been the hidden lesson all along. The heart was never asking them to become someone new. It was asking them to return to the person they were before fear, pressure, and endless expectations convinced them they had to become someone else. Now they are remembering that person, the one who valued simple joys, the one who believed kindness was strength, the one who understood that genuine happiness is created through authenticity, not perfection. This realization has quietly become the foundation of a new chapter. A chapter where success is no longer measured only by what they accomplish, but by the peace they carry, by the honesty they choose, by the love they share, by the courage to remain true to themselves even when the world encourages them to become something different. And perhaps that is the greatest achievement of all. Because when a person finally stops living only to satisfy expectations, they begin creating a life that truly belongs to them. Your soulmate is slowly discovering that this kind of life cannot be built through pressure. It is built through presence, one honest choice, one peaceful moment, and one courageous step at a time. And perhaps that quiet journey is leading them exactly where their soul has always hoped to go.